In this video, I'll show you how to make the real chimichurri. I mean, the one that the gauchos in Argentina have been doing for hundreds of years. And that's a long way before the world discovered chimichurri. Since then, it's been twisted, tweaked, and modernized to the point that it's barely recognizable. I think it's time to go back to basic and learn to make chimichurri in its pure and original form. Let's jump in. Hi, I'm PapaMau. I'm here to inspire people to use healthier and long-lasting cookware as a way to care for their loved ones and for the environment. In my channel, I show how easy it is to cook with carbon steel, cast iron, and stainless steel cookware. I share my own experience as an everyday dad cook and as an outdoor weekend warrior. Welcome. Ingredients. Alright, for about 2 cups of chimichurri, here's what you'll need. Half a cup of water, that's around 120 milliliters. 1 teaspoon of salt, that's around 5 to 6 grams. 1 full head of garlic, yep, that's the whole thing. 1 cup of fresh oregano, or half a cup if you are using dried oregano. 1 cup or 1 bunch of fresh parsley. 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, it could be hot or sweet. I do 1 and 1. A quarter cup of red wine vinegar, that's around 60 milliliters. I'm using white wine vinegar here. And half a cup of olive oil, that's around 120 milliliters. Though gauchos probably used whatever oil they had on hand. And that's it, real ingredients, no mint, no coriander, no rosemary, no weird stuff. Method. We start by making what's called salmuera, basically a salt water solution. Bring the water to a boil, then stir in the salt until it's fully dissolved. Now, technically you could use cold water, but it takes a lot longer to dissolve the salt properly. Most internet chefs skip this part and just throw salt straight into the herbs. But trust me, this is a key step. It gives you a deep savory flavor without gritty salt crystals ruining the texture. Now put it aside and let it cool. While the salmuera is cooling, finally mince the garlic and toss it into a bowl. Then chop the parsley and oregano with a knife, not blenders or food processors, please. This sauce is rustic. Gauchos didn't have blenders. And if you're using fresh oregano, make sure you strip off the woody stems. Trust me, you don't want those making their way into your sauce. That would be very annoying. Now, here's a little trick I like to do. Let's call it a PapaMau secret. I use a mortar and pestle to crush some of the garlic, parsley, oregano, and paprika together. It brings out the essential oils and gives the chimichurri a deeper, more infused flavor. Once I get a nice fragrant paste, I throw it into the bowl, then whisk in the vinegar, followed by the olive oil. When the salmuera has cooled, pour it in and give everything a solid mix. One more thing, you will usually end up with more salmuera than you need, so don't pour it all in one straight way. Add a bit, mix and taste. Some people like their chimichurri more runny, some prefer it thicker, but the real chimichurri always has water on it. Now, this is probably the most important part, and the one that most people get wrong. Chimichurri is not at its best when it's freshly made. It needs time, at least 18 to 24 hours in the fridge to really come together and develop those deep balanced flavors. So always make it in advance, ideally a couple of days before you plan to use it. It will keep for 2 to 3 weeks in the fridge, no problem, and honestly it just keeps getting better every day. So that's it, the real chimichurri, Gaucho style. Honest flavor that will take your asado, steak, or even grilled veggies to the next level. This is actually my brekkie today. Grilled cheese with chimichurri on top. And might, it's to die for. If you give it a go, let me know how it turns out. Ciao chicos, see you in the next one.